Hello, I'm Ron Calhoun with Michigan State University Extension. If you're anything like me, on that first nice day of spring, you're just itching to get outside. Well, I've come outside today and I'm starting to look at the lawn, and I noticed that there's several thin areas. And if you see areas like that in the spring, it could be that it's because of things like pink snow mold, or maybe some grub damage from last year, or even some areas where the leaves kind of settled and piled up after you moved inside for the winter time. What I'm going to do today is I'm just going to go around to those thin areas and I'm just going to rough them up a little bit with my leaf rake. Try and loosen that up, stand the turf up a little bit. I'm not too worried about snow mold. It's mostly just a foliar blight, and maybe get those leaves from underneath the area between the grass and the bushes. So I'm going to go around and I'm just kind of loosely stand up that turf. Later on when I come by and mow, I'll mow off most of that ugly stuff. And I noticed the other thing that happened through the winter time is that I have a lot of sticks and things that have fallen. So I'm just going to kind of do some spring cleanup, a little bit of trash removal, and get some exercise on a nice day. Well, I think I got most of the areas raked up. As I went around the lawn, I noticed that there were several areas that seemed pretty thin. So those probably aren't going to recover. In that case, I'm going to want to put down some grass seed. So make sure that you've loosened up the soil, put down your grass seed, and try to keep it moist for the next couple weeks so some grass can come in. Now, another thing that we commonly do in the springtime is we put down our pre-emergence for crabgrass. Remember, if you're putting down new seed, you want to avoid pre-emergence for crabgrass in those areas, as that's going to prevent that from being established. So once I get things cleaned up, probably in the next week, I'm really going to feel the urge to mow. Now, a lot of times, folks are going to want to go out there. You're going to want to really lower that mower down so you can get the green that's underneath that turf. I want to just kind of really encourage you not to do that. If you feel that you need to give it a little bit more of a haircut than normal, maybe just drop it down one click on your mower. That's going to maybe clean up things a little bit, kind of provide that uniform look that you're going for. But in general, you really want to avoid scalping it in the springtime. That's only going to end up encouraging more crabgrass at the end. Now, I see here, this is one of the culprits we see every spring. If you go out there and it's April or May and you see this in your lawn, we get lots of calls every year saying, oh, the crabgrass preventer didn't work. This is actually not crabgrass. This is a rough type tall fescue that commonly comes in, and because it's so well adapted to Michigan, it's green a lot of times earlier than everything else. But because of this wide leaf blade, a lot of folks assume that it's crabgrass. If you see these green patches in the springtime, April or May, it's not crabgrass. You didn't have a failure of your pre. It's just some tall fescue that's come into those areas. So if you see patches like this in your lawn in the springtime, it's not crabgrass. It's just some patches of tall fescue. Don't fret. It's going to be there, and when the other grass starts growing, you really won't notice it as much. And on a final note, you just want to avoid over-fertilizing your lawn in the springtime. It's a time of the year that the grass is getting going, and we want to avoid pushing it real hard as we go into the summertime. If you get too much succulent growth, you're really going to have other things to deal with as you move into the summer. So take it easy, let the grass get going, get out there. You have plenty of season for doing all those other wonderful lawn maintenance things that you want to be doing.